eyes twinkle. Have you ever seen Santa's sleigh or heard it land on your roof? You have?
No, my grandma has.
Really?
She saw Santa when she was a little girl, and then she didn't get presents.
That's right, because there's a rule I made. It says that you see me when I'm there with the air, putting them in around the tree, and you spot me, I have to bring the presents back. It's a rule. It's not a very good rule, but it keeps people in bed.
Yeah. I know my mom, one time, her two brothers, and they like put cameras in there.
Yeah?
And she
No
said
presents, yeah. It's a tough rule, but you gotta draw a line somewhere. All right, in the night before Christmas, the Clauses hear a ring at their door. It's the elf children come a-caroling. Their high, sweet voices ring out through the cold, crisp night as they sing the songs they learned on that first Christmas tree hunt long ago. Every Christmas since then, the youngest ones have spent the night caroling, making Santa's house their last stop. They know that Mrs. Claus has hot, spiced cider waiting for them on the stove. After caroling, Mrs. Claus bundles off to an early bedtime. Tomorrow night is the big trip. You must be early to study the route. And here they all are caroling. How many of you go caroling at Christmas time? Caroling is when you get together as a group and you go, here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus. Everybody sings the song, see? And they stand around outside the door of people's houses. It's really a very fun tradition. Lots of people do it today. They shut the door. Well, that's all right. You sing louder. Yeah, then they can hear you. Christmas Eve morning for Santa begins with a long meeting with his navigator. You know what a navigator is? What? Pretty close. It's the guy what reads the map, the navigator. And then he has a compass too. So which way is north and all that. The elf goes over this year's route. The decision of where you go first, second, third, and so on is based on a certain practical considerations, such as weather, how the sleigh has been loaded, and who's been naughty and nice.
Please excuse the interruption. Recess will be indoors.
Sure. You just run up and down the halls?
No,
What do you do with that?
you're staying with the stuff.
Excuse me. All right. Well, but mostly Santa likes to try different route each year. It's simply more interesting. When you go on trips, I usually go one way there, and then on the way back I go another way, because it's more interesting. You see more things that way, right? It's a good way to go things. I like it. Santa doesn't worry much about taking shortcuts because King Olaf's magical sleigh, the trip always lasts exactly one night. No matter what, that's how it's got to be done in one night. It's Christmas Eve, time to fly. Even though Santa has made his trip many times, Mrs. Claus always worries about him. She makes sure he has checked his list twice and hands him the thermos of hot chocolate. Then, beneath the sprig of mistletoe that hangs and dangles from the beam in the sleigh coach house, the ride was described in a famous poem called The Night Before Christmas. The elves made a book of the poem, and when Santa is out of sight, Mrs. Claus reads the book to the very young elves. Well, somebody's got to take care of the little short elves. Yeah.
We need the for Christmas every Christmas.
You do? You like that story? Wait, we have it here. could read some of it. Would you like that?
Yeah.
We have time? Teach?
Sure.
Okay. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a rat. No, that's a mouse. Do any of you have rats? They make wonderful pets.
Are them in Mr. Key?
Yeah. A white rat, yeah. Those are real good because you don't have to buy special food for them, you know, like
Yeah.
gerbil food and them other little things that crawl around. You got special food, hamsters, and it costs a lot of money. Because rats will eat garbage. You could just feed them in. And you don't have to take them for a walk every day, like a dog. Just let them poo and sweep it under the rug. It's no problem. Let's see, the stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And there they are dancing, and their socks are hanging up. Yeah, how many got socks for Christmas? Yeah, oh, those are good, yeah, Christmas socks. Why don't I can't turn the page? There we go. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up. Doesn't sound very good. Oh, threw up the sash. And the mooning on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to the objects below. When what to my wondering eye should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny little reindeers, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it was Saint Nick. And there's the picture of them, and Nick is flying up they're looking out the window, and there's where they threw up.
What? Where's there two up?
Right out the window.
What?
And let's see then, oh yeah, here's the big reindeers pulling the sleigh. They pull it way up straight up, just like a 742. No, 747.
What's that? I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's a big airplane. They fly like that, really up in the air.
There's some places that-
More rapid than eagles their courses they came, and they whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dancer, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. Whew. You know, there was one they didn't talk about here, and that was Olive. Does anybody know Olive, the reindeer?
Olive? Oh, yeah.
That's Rudolph's sister. I made up a song so you would never forget her. Olive, the other reindeer.
Oh,
Remember that one?
yeah. I didn't really know.
Oh, yeah, she's yeah. And then to the top of the porch and to the top of the wall, now dash away, and dash away all, as the dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet an obstacle, mount to the sky. So to the housetop and the courses they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas also. And oh, them Christmas trees in them days used candles, but we don't use candles now, because it's too easy to catch on fire, isn't it?
Wait, so
Excuse me. I have to throw up. What?
during that song, it says all about a reindeer you could call
Yeah, yeah.
Olive?
Olive. I didn't, it's not in the book.
Oh,
No, it's olive. Yeah. Now, And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head, it sounds like a turtle, and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was all dressed in fur from head to his foot, and his clothes were all covered with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler, just opened his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, I'll marry. His cheeks were like roses, and his nose was like a cherry. He drolled his mouth and was drawn up like a bow. And the beard on his chin was as white as snow. Mine's pretty close. Dirty snow. And the beard, oh no, and the stump of the pipe he held tight in his teeth, with the smoke that encircled his head like a wreath. And he had a broad face and a little round belly. And then that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. With a wink of his eye and a twist of his head, he soon gave me to know that I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, and turned. He's a jerk. He turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney, he rose. That's how he did it right there. That's when I wear my suit. Everybody know what my suit looks like? All right.
That's what the same belt you have in the picture.
No, this is my another belt. I wear this one in the summertime.
But
It's a
it's
little
not summer.
smaller. Huh?
It's not summer.
Ooh.
It's not?
No, it's winter.
Well, I'm on vacation. I get 11 months off. It's a great vacation. Yeah, I gotta go back to the north.
When?
Yeah?
When
When I'm done here,
No.
straight back. I got work to
In
do.
what? But why aren't you wearing your suit? You should wear
Are you
your
kidding?
suit.
It's too hot.
No, it's cold. It's not cold.
No, not in here. Okay, he sprang to his sleigh, his team gave a whistle, and away they flew. Did I get some money? Perfect. And they flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. The end. What do you think of that?
Awesome.
Horribly
Good.
good.
Just like awesome. I like this.
Good, huh?
Can I be an elf? I want to be an
Yeah.
elf. My ears are sticking out.
Yeah, I think you could be one. Yeah, I think it would work.
Could I? My ears are.
Is your ears out a little more? Could you hold them out
Me
for a
too.
couple of years till they get stuck out there?
Yeah, I got mine. I will. I think I will.
Maybe tape them up.
When do I start? What about mine?
You can start next year.
I can move.
Huh?
You should just on Christmas. You should just wake me up and wait. What's my name?
Well, how do I know?
You right.
Well, I got a list. I can't memorize all them names.
But on video,
I got a
Who's your
the
favorite
list
elf?
says get a video for Elmer and a doll for Frida. It's all set up for me.
anything quick?
He was naughty.
What about Jackson? Was he on? I got a video.
Yeah, he gets cold. Next year.
You said you didn't even believe in Santa. No, I didn't.
Well, now, if you
Yes, he
don't,
did.
see, if
He
you
said
don't
that.
believe,
Yeah, you
you
did.
don't, isn't that it?
You don't believe you don't receive.
Yeah, it's a simple rule.
Who's the most important? What about AJ?
Most important
What
elf?
about
Well, they're
AJ?
all important.
What What about AJ? Is he not?
AJ is good, yeah.
Yes, that is me.
Oh,
Do you know when else
I made a mistake.
That was
All
my
right,
pretend
well,
name.
I guess that's about
That was my
it.
pretend name.
Snowflake, yeah.
What about
What
Mohammed?
does she do?
She's in the packaging department.
What about Peter? What about Elizabeth? Oh, that's her sister's name.
I think she's a doll maker.
What about Jack?
You know, this is awfully hard.
What about
Oh, really?
What about Jack? Is Muhammad?
Jack jumped over the candlestick.
What?
Was Mohammed good or bad?
Am I naughty?
And he went with Jill on the hill.
Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
Was Mohammed bad?
Muhammad, he doesn't even work there.
That person.
He takes care of the reindeers.
Muhammad, you can't. What does Clay do? What does Clay
I
do?
don't know. It's too many things.
What about
What do you got?
What do you